Yeah, no, and we're into that dirty water. Let's take a look at the Bruins. They are up 3-1. They're rolling. They're rolling. The Thunder is thundering, and there's no Krejci Bergeron. Kev, how have you felt about the Bruins so far in the playoffs? Have they done what you wanted? Would you like to see anything different? How do you feel about the lines? How do you feel?
I'm actually loving the lines. I was a little nervous, a lot of juggling, so it's like chemistry being there. But these guys have stepped up, and I think that's the biggest thing. Responding to the whole Bergeron situation, and like a lot of people talking kind of down on Bergeron, like why would he play in that last game of the regular season? And we all know he did it for his dad, and just how powerful that is. And just like the statements, he's had our back his whole career. It's time for us to have his back. So like that's huge, and I think that's a big reason why this team's responding the way they are. Because we've talked about throughout the season, this team is a family, and they'll do whatever it takes for each other, and that's just the mentality they have. And no matter what, you're gonna get punched in the face. Guess what? The whole team's gonna punch you back. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, I've loved how they've responded. I don't know about you, Connor. Like the way they've responded to adversity and like when, really, I mean, Florida's played like a bunch of gangsters. Like after every play stoppage, they're trying to start fights. End of the game, they're trying to start fights. It shows that they like a lot of those guys haven't been there before. They don't know what it takes to win, and they're just trying to use male bravado to like push forward to get a win. And the Bruins are just laughing that off. A guy like Brad Marchand showing the leader he is, just being like,
Yeah. So I mean, I get where a lot of people are coming from as Bruins fans when you see the Panthers coming in here and, doing all the cheap after whistle things. What I would say to that is look at what the Bruins did in 2011, 2013, in those time frames. They were kind of that team. Like, they weren't the talented group of individuals, and they had to rough themselves out to get the wins.
yeah, no, that's I do look at that. Like the Bruins did used to play that style, and now they're kind of they have that in them still, but they just don't have to be that way. I want to kind of pose something with you guys with the lines today. Definitely a little different. And my dad made the point that he thought they were kind of putting someone to protect someone on every line, and I was like, I don't really know if I agree with that. But first line Bertuzzi, Bergeron, Pasta. Second line Marshy, Coyle, Foligno. Third line Hall, Zach, and DeBrusque. Fourth line Lauko, Nosek, Hathaway. Big surprise to me is Frederick not in the lineup in that, but also like I don't. My dad was like, look, they're trying to put Bertuzzi to protect Bergeron. I'm like, I don't really know that Bertuzzi's a protector. He's more of an agitator than a protector.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know him. But sorry to cut you off, but
no,
no,
you're
I
good.
I love that line just for the fact that like the chemistry that Bertuzzi and Pasta have shown in this. We know the way Bergeron can play. Like he was in the full contact jersey, did the white sweater. So I love that line, but also that third line. Would you say it was
Hall, Zach, and
Zaka?
DeBrusque.
Yeah, like oh my god, between DeBrusque and Hall, they have been the unsung heroes.
I think
Just
these lines are terrible. But we can
really,
keep going. Yeah, I think it's
I
the
kind of
dumbest
like
thing ever.
him.
Why would you not? No, it's stupid. Why are you splitting up Marchand and Bergeron? That's dumb. Number two, Zaka has great chemistry with Bertuzzi and Pasta. Why not leave him there? Why not put DeBrusque, Bergeron, and Marchand back, who are extremely dynamic, and then you can have Freddie Hall Coyle. I don't actually don't understand at all. I feel like this is just a weird line matching practice situation, and I hope it doesn't happen. It just
Yeah,
doesn't make logical sense.
I like it, but I don't think that he's gonna roll it out. Like we've seen everything, you know what I mean? Once again, it's just practice. We never know what Monty's gonna do. So
Practice, practice.
Yeah, it's just practice, but at the same time, I mean, if you throw the proverbial lines in the blender and get a lot of different matchups here, you know, that third line is going to get a lot of favorable time on ice where they can be the weapon that you are seeing them be. Just like when the Bruins went out and acquired Charlie Coyle and Marcus Johansson. They were able to be so successful together because they got favorable matchups. And I think ultimately once the Bruins get fully healthy, every other team in the NHL that they're going to play is absolutely screwed because your third line at that rate will be Taylor Hall, Charlie Coyle, and Tyler Bertuzzi potentially, which with the chemistry that Bertuzzi's picking up elsewhere, I don't foresee that being the case.
Yeah, I don't. Bertuzzi seems to just the way he play makes. He should be with David Pastrnak, and I like him with Zaka too. Guys who can just shoot the puck. Bertuzzi is a way better passer than I think any of us realized he was. Like he's 100x better playmaker than I thought he was. In all honesty, I want them to re-sign him. It's like there. I know there's probably not the money to do it, but I really like Bertuzzi's game a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think that, and I'm probably actually just going to take the opportunity to write this myself since I'm going to go on about it. But I think there's a big case to be made that Don Sweeney should move some people out here to make space to re-sign Tyler Bertuzzi. And I think Taylor Hall, I'm sorry to say it, but it's probably one of them. And then the other one would be the person you saw sit out the first 2 games of the series in Matt Grzelcyk.
Grzelcyk I could see. I don't think Taylor Hall's one of them. Taylor Hall's right now been the best player in the series by far. Like, if he can get back to being that player, you need him for your future without Bergeron and Krejci.
Right, and that's the biggest thing. We're seeing what a healthy Taylor Hall is. And now we really understand how bad that injury was and how nagging it was and how much it affected him. So it's good to see him back.
Yes.
It's good to see him healthy,
But Tyler Bertuzzi's age meshes more with the next core of the Bruins than necessarily Taylor Hall. Can he stick around and be, the veteran who's 4 to 5 years older than everybody else? Yeah, sure, but I would still rather choose.
28.
I think they're probably like 3 years difference, I would assume.
They are, 28, 31. It's really not that
Well, that's the thing. I really don't see the Bruins ever doing a full-on rebuild, into a retool. And Hall's one of those veteran guys that stays there. Because it's like, you're going to have Hall, you're going to have Pasta. Pasta's going to want a guy like Hall. So,
does Hall have a no movement clause?
I would assume so. I would assume that he at least has like a 10-team no trade clause if you went and looked at it. That's what would make sense anyway.
He has a Taylor Hall salary $7 million with a cap hit of $6 million for the 2022-2023 season. He has a $1 million signing bonus. I don't see that he does. UFA in 4 years signing.
Taylor Hall has a no movement clause with a modified no trade clause.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Starting next year.
Yep. Or no, that was this year.
No, last year. Oh yeah. It goes to 10-team no trade.
Goes to 10-team. Yeah, so it gets slimmer. Wow.
I mean, it's but we'll see. I don't know that I see that happening. I do think Matt Grzelcyk is probably like. I don't know, but he's played good in the games he's put back in, so it's like tough to be like, but I don't know. I think Grizzy may be the odd man out, especially with Mason Lowry coming and guys that are coming.
I mean, there's a reason that they didn't play him in the first 2 games, right? Like, we might not know necessarily what that is, but there is, to Bruins management and coaching staff, there had to be a reason that he wasn't playing.
I don't disagree. I think it's size and grit. I mean, but now he's in the top pairing, so it's like, it's just, you're going to want, it depends on, Orlov's definitely not re-signing, but Grzelcyk makes you good. He's good. I don't know. What do you think?
yeah, I definitely don't see Orlov. Orlov, I think, wants like 7 years and money. So he wants the term. It's going to be like his last contract, really big contract. So Orlov's definitely out unless he wanted to take like a 2 to 3 year deal with not a lot of money, but that's not happening. He's cashing in on a good second half of the Bruins in a playoff, and he's going to take the bag and go wherever.
Yeah, I see it the same way. I don't think Orlov's going to be a Bruin. In that case, Grzelcyk maybe doesn't get moved, but I have a feeling he could too, though. I don't disagree that Grzelcyk could be one of the guys getting moved.
I think Garnet Hathaway could end up sticking around to be a Bruin for a while.
Yeah, I do. And it's like, then you look, right, it's like we say, we kind of pinned Coyle on a guy they could look to move, but Coyle's been playing out of his mind. Coyle's made for playoff hockey. When the game tightens up and it becomes a possession game, he's so good. It's like every year we get reminded how good Charlie Coyle is at holding the puck and controlling play in the playoffs. It's like, it's a guy you want to stick around. Then again, if the Bruins win the cup, I mean it when I say
then who cares? Yep. Screw it.
If they win the cup, they do whatever they want. I really don't care. So I promise I won't mince my words. I will support whatever they do if they win the cup. I won't. Maybe I won't like it, but I'll support it. So just go win the friggin' cup, The only other thing I really have in the Bruins for you guys is the goalies. How about Monty saying like he might go to Sway, and when they asked him why, he's like, because he's an excellent goaltender. He's like, we're gonna check with goalie Bob. I thought that was a good like little just reminding Sway that like, hey, like you're still very good. We're thinking about playing you. Didn't happen. You got 2 minutes. Shutout 2 minutes.
Shutout streak. What up?
But Olmark's been good. I don't know about you guys. I didn't love Olmark's game in game 2. He let in some goals from far out. That one where he...
Everything gets excused when he rips off the mask and the blocker and the glove to fight Matthew Tkachuk. I don't care. This guy scores a goal as a goalie. He's ready to fight Matty Tkachuk, and they've got the electric goalie hugs. This man walks on water in Boston.
And he got an assist. Can't forget the assist.
He's got basically a season-long Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yeah, don't take it the wrong way. I love Ullmark, and I think he's literally going to win the Vezina Trophy, deservedly so. He should be the guy playing these big games. But I just thought it was interesting that, like, you know, it wasn't just a Sway's definitely not going to play. You know, it was something that could be entertained, whether Ullmark was hurt or not. I will say Ullmark's gotten up a little gingerly a few times. He hasn't moved as quick as he normally does, but Ullmark at 85% still better than 99% of the NHL this year. So.
Yeah, and I mean, you're up 3-1 on the Panthers right now. Ullmark is a little banged up. I think it just makes sense to go with Swayman. If nothing else, you give Ullmark a day of rest. You get Swayman in there. This game is likely to be a lot of rough stuff.
Very rough.
Oh
God, if Florida's going to start out rough, if the Bruins can get a couple goals on them, they're going to get rougher. That's for sure. Because Florida's hanging on here for everything. Their life's on the line. And a guy like Matty Tkachuk's going to come out flying. Tkachuk's been a little bit of a scumbag so far in the series. I will preface...
We all kind of knew that he had that in him.
Yeah, I will preface, like, you know, Marchand said it best. Like, when they asked Marchand about the comments that Tkachuk calling, you know, making derogatory comments about Nosik's wife, Marchand didn't, like, put down Tkachuk. He said, you guys, like, shouldn't be hearing that. And the owners should be on the media not miking up or us chirping each other. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to the, you know, PC police, but hockey players, when they're chirping each other, say a lot of bad stuff, they don't necessarily mean it. Like, that, like, Matt Tkachuk's not saying that to these guys after the game. Like, it's like, hey, sorry, you know, that was overblown in the moment. We don't know what Nosik said either. He probably said bad stuff back. They're guys playing hockey, so I was kind of with Marchand on that. Like, hey, like, let's not just... Like, I'm sure Brad said a lot of dumb shit too, right? So it's just like he's not going to be the guy to throw heat on that fire, throw coals on that fire, whatever I'm saying. But I don't know how you guys have felt about Tkachuk's play. I mean, he's gotten what he deserved.
Yeah, I mean, I get it 100%. I think the thing out of everything here that really kind of irks me is when games get out of hand in the Stanley Cup playoffs, it just turns into a complete goon fest.
Yeah.
Especially when it's an elimination game. So like you said, if the Bruins, you know, put up with it and get a couple penalties, score a couple, you know, power play goals early, and they build up a little bit of a lead and it starts to get nasty, that nasty is just going to keep ratcheting it up until the officiating has to basically put the game out of reach and start tossing players.
I got some good news I just read on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Montgomery said Krejci is progressing well. Won't be available for Game 5, but may be an option for Game 6. That's good news.
Yeah.
Because I thought Krejci was more hurt than that. Did you guys already know that?
Just old age.
No. I had no idea. But I'm glad. I'm like, hopefully... I don't think Krejci should even return the rest of the series. Hopefully the series ends tomorrow night and just see him next round. But even if it goes 6, Krejci should be out there 6.
I want your guys' opinion on this. I talked to my dad about it on my drive home. He doesn't think the Bruins could win without Bergeron, the Cup. And I think you guys both agree with that. But
I'm not convinced right now.
He does think they could win without Krejci. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with Big Jim. Bergeron just... It's tough. We're seeing them beat...
I don't think they beat everyone. Like, they beat...
No, Bergeron is a game changer. And we're just seeing...
The face-offs alone.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing... Florida's really not as good as...
No, they're not.
Yeah, they suck. So we're able to get past it.
Their goaltending options are Alex Lyon or Sergei Bobrovsky.
So, no, I definitely think, yeah, you can win without Krejci, but you need Bergeron. He's just a game changer.
Not this series. This series.
No, not this series. But when it gets tough,
I'm talking about
like, yeah. Everything.
Like I don't think you can beat Colorado.
With all the people they're missing right now?
I think Nathan McKinnon dominates the Bruins without Bergeron. Bergeron neutralizes them.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. And then with Bergeron there, then you have
McDavid,
Coyle and,
all those
and Zaka.
the superstars in the league, Bergeron is literally there. He just shuts them all down. He shuts down Austin Matthews.
Bergeron is the kryptonite to 100-point scorers.
100% is. Like, you want him against Stamkos, you want him against Kucherov, you want him against all those guys.
Yeah, and that's not even that. It's like, yes, he does that, but then also
Zaka,
it gives you the depth. It gives you the depth. That's the thing. It's like when you have to move Zaka up to the first line and Coyle up to the second.
Up against Austin Matthews or Steven Stamkos next
not
round.
really
I don't
liking
know about that.
No.
I don't know about that. Austin Matthews. Let's get into it. I think that's enough for the Bruins. You guys got anything else? Let's just rattle through the games quick. Game 1, Bruins won 3-1. Good game, strong game. Not their best game. They really just scored more goals than the other team to get the win.
The feeling out game of the series.
Yeah, game 2, the Bruins got pee-pee smacked around. That was shitty to watch. Just didn't play great. The game 3, the Bruins came out, played their game. Still not great. It was like they played good, they played their game, but I was also flying, and my plane kept dropping, and there was crazy turbulence. So I watched a lot of blocky version of the Bruins game, but I think they could have probably played even a little better there. Game 4, they came out and played their game. Game 4, they came out 6-2 win, big Bruins hockey. Love that. And what's your prediction for tomorrow? My prediction for tomorrow is a 5-2 Bruins win.
I'll take a 4-0 dub. I think it's going to get nasty early, and I think you're going to see somebody ejected in the second period.
I'm going 5-3.
5-3. All right. Is it going to be a close 5-3 or like they get one late? It's like
get
5-2
one late,
and they
5-2.
pop one. Okay.
Get one late, they'll chippy.
Okay. All right. Let's get into what we're going to do for the rest of the pod, guys. We're going to jump from series to series, give you a quick synopsis of the series and how things are going. So let's get into that Salt of the East. Talk about the other Easty teams.